It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Tuesday morning, and right now, time for us to get to know our guest artist. And man, we are so privileged to have the one, the only, Young Paris in the Feel Good studio, baby. Come on, give it up. Yo, neighbors. Young Paris is here, guys. We usually have people like there on the balcony just like watching the show from there, man. Good to have you here, dog.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Your first time in South Africa?
Yes, sir.
And how are you experiencing the motherland, man?
It's a bit overwhelming. I actually did 6 countries this summer in Africa. First time in South Africa. I thought we were just going to do Joburg, and we added Cape Town to the trip, so I'm glad to be here.
No, we're glad that you did so. We're glad that you did. So for those that don't know the background and the history of Young Paris, give us a bit of a rundown, where it is you come from, where it all started. Young Paris, where that came from?
Born in Paris, hence the name. Raised in New York by way of Congo. My father co-founded the National Ballet of Congo, so he was a big dancer in his time in Africa. My mother's a playwright in New York, had a studio in Paris, 7 kids later. And growing up in France, Africa, and America, I had this kind of global lens of life. So being exposed to a very arts-rich environment. My parents were super in the arts, into fashion, into music. So just kind of being a product of that upbringing and eventually becoming my own version of it.
7 kids later, are you all artistic?
Yeah, we're all artists. There's actually 10 of us, but my parents said 7 together. But yeah, we're all artists.
My word, and that artistry certainly showed itself true when, I mean, you are one of the only African artist or artist of African origin, right? Signed to Jay-Z's
Tiwa Savage.
All right, yeah? And Rock Nation. So, I mean, we talk about alongside Tiwa Savage, Rihanna, DJ Khaled, Big Sean. Those are some big names. How did that come about, man?
Oh, it was dope. There's actually, so I would say I'm kind of responsible for helping the kind of diasporic Afrobeats culture kind of build its base in New York and by way of the US. So actually, when I signed to Rock, that was the idea, was for me to be the guy that can help patriarch Afrobeats and African culture in the States. But there was a guy who just followed me. I was throwing all these Afrobeats parties around New York City. And in this time, 3-4 years ago, it was a totally new sound. Like some South African house, a lot of music coming out of Central and West Africa, specifically Nigeria. And I was putting all these guys onto WizKid and the bands. And eventually, I dropped an album mixing some of the style, and the A&R from Rock was like, yo, you gotta come by the office, we love this. And I had no idea where it was, and a week later, we ended up signing. So.
Boom, man.
Yeah.
Boom. Obviously, you've met Jay a couple of times, and he's like, dude, great to have you. I mean, what a way to make your way into the music scene. That's as big a plug as you want to get, right?
Yeah, it's big, man. I mean, we kind of run New York, so.
Oh, yeah. You say that in the most humblest of ways. We kind of just run New York. And then to come to South Africa for the first time, and then a couple of days ago to receive an extraordinary award, the Power of Influence Award that you can mention, alongside the names of Yvonne Chaga Chaga, Mam Esther Mahlangu. What does that mean to you, man?
It feels great to be celebrated, man. It's my first time in South Africa, and to win an award is just like a huge honor. You know, it just came to me. We got an email one day, they said, listen, Global Citizen's happening, we know you're in town. We want to award you for your service and your contributions to fashion. So my division was the fashion icon sector of it, because I'm known also outside of my music as a big influence in the fashion world.
Indeed.
But it was just overwhelming. I'm a big fan of Esther Malungu, like watching her growing up from the States. Obviously WizKid, my sister Tiwa I've worked with, and the band's like some great artists. And to receive the award in front of Femi Kuti was like a game-changing moment.
Yeah, man. Listen, what a privilege it is to have you here, part of the show this morning. Thank you for joining us, rising up so early to be here, and can't wait to see more of you on the Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't miss out on that. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Paris, come on! Neighbors!